Hi, my name is David Teeney, and this is HotLips. I'm from Altoona, Pennsylvania, and I go to school at Slippery Rock University. I serve in the 20th Division Army National Guard Band, and I'm assistant band director at the Slippery Rock Area High School Marching Band. I would describe myself as dedicated and respectful. I'm highly devoted to each of my projects, to my college, the military, and HotLips. And then I'm respectful of all those people who have helped me along the way. My invention is called HotLips, and it is a brass instrument mouthpiece warmer. And what it does is raise the temperature of the mouthpiece greater than the outside temperature so that the musician can comfortably play while it's cold outside. 2 years ago, I was a freshman in college and marching trumpet in the Slippery Rock University Marching Band. It was a day quite similar to this. It was about 34 degrees and raining. It was probably the worst I've ever played trumpet in the last 5 years. It was awful. And it was all because of the cold. My lips weren't vibrating correctly. I couldn't play the high notes that I needed. It was awful. So I went home that night and said, I will never play on a cold mouthpiece again. And I went to buy a mouthpiece heater. However, I found out they don't actually exist. So I decided to dedicate myself to actually inventing one. The HotLips Mouthpiece Warmer works with 3 different devices. A rechargeable battery pack is used to power it, and a silicone rubber heater is attached to the mouthpiece to raise the temperature of just the mouthpiece. On a regular instrument sitting in the cold, the mouthpiece and the whole instrument get frozen, just like those valves. So this mouthpiece right now is very cold. It's about 37 degrees. That is unbelievably cold and unpleasant to play on, to say the least. Now with a HotLips Mouthpiece Warmer, with just the mouthpiece heated up, the mouthpiece is a lot more comfortable. I feel a lot more control over the instrument, and it's going to be a greater performance experience for me and the listener. This is the current model that is currently being sold and has specific limitations which I want to address ultimately in the final product. Currently, the battery pack only has an on switch. To turn the battery pack off, you actually have to unplug the heater. Secondly, the mouthpiece heater itself is always on when you turn it on, and it will be performing at 100% all the time. Because the temperatures are always changing, I want to have a unit that you can turn a thermostat up and down to adjust the settings of how hot and cold the unit gets. This will enable a user to use the mouthpiece heater on a wider range of temperatures. Because currently, at really cold temperatures, the mouthpiece heater doesn't get warm enough, and at mild temperatures where you might want to use it, it might get too warm for a user to use. The market for HotLips is any brass player who plays anywhere that it can get cold. This includes trumpet players, trombones, euphoniums, tubas, French horns, and mellophones. All of these different types of instruments could use a mouthpiece warmer just like this one. It can help high school kids, college kids, different professionals, people in the military who are playing different ceremonies in the cold. All of those people could use this product. People are going to be interested in HotLips because when it gets really cold, metal mouthpieces are like putting your lips on ice, and it makes it really hard to play. If you think about it, the muscles inside your lips are very, very fine, and when exposed to the cold, they become tense and tight. This decreases your flexibility and your ability to play on the instrument. When using a mouthpiece warmer, the mouthpiece gets heated up, which passively heats the lips, which allows the musician to overcome the variables of weather. What makes HotLips unique is that it is actually a heater for your mouthpiece. There are plastic options out there that make it more comfortable to play in the cold. However, you have to change to a different mouthpiece that might feel different, and the sound quality isn't as good as a metal mouthpiece. With HotLips, you can use your same mouthpiece that you always play on every other day, and you simply attach the mouthpiece warmer, and it heats up your mouthpiece. This gives you better flexibility, better control, and a better sound than a plastic mouthpiece. 2 notable trumpet players who currently own a HotLips product include Mr. Chad Winkler, a trumpet player with the world-renowned Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra, and Dr. Stephen Hawk, a jazz freelance player who has won a Grammy Award. The slogan for HotLips is designed by musicians for musicians. I came up with this because the product was developed by me for me as a musician. There are no trademarks for HotLips right now, but I can see the value in them in the future. My ultimate goal for HotLips is to create a version for each of the brass family, then have it manufactured and distributed through large corporations. People would recognize these corporations such as J.W. Pepper, Woodwind and Brasswind, and Amazon and feel comfortable and safe purchasing these products. Currently, I have submitted a patent application that covers each version of Mouthpiece Heater. It takes time, money, and space to create a successful and sustainable business. As a college student, these three resources are in short supply and are the main reason why I haven't been able to get this product to market yet. I've personally invested over $10,000 into the development of this product in countless hours. I've used space in Altoona and my apartment at college. However, this is very limited, and I need to upscale it so that it can be manufactured and distributed through large corporations. My friends and family have been highly supportive of the process. My parents have let me use their home to run my business out of, and my friends have tested prototypes during 2 marching band seasons, which includes over 10 performances and 1 performance in Ann Arbor, Michigan at the Big House in front of 15,000 people. Because of my limited resources, I have begun selling a prototype version online. I've sold about 50 units for $30 a piece. I've needed this money to further development the final product. I anticipate that the final version with all of its new additions will cost about $35. HotLips means so much to me. I put a lot of time and dedication into it. There have been cold nights, burnt hands, and it's been a lot of hard work. However, I know that there's a lot of people out there that can benefit from it. Currently, this is the only version. It's the trumpet version, and I want to have a version for each of the different types of brass instruments. I know that there are musicians all across the world who want to play with HotLips on days just like today. However, I need your help. I don't have the time or resources available just by myself to be able to get this type of product out into the hands of the consumers. Hi, my name is David Teeney, and I'm founder and creator of HotLips Instrumental Supplies. And this is the HotLips Heater. Today I just want to talk through all the prototypes that we have gone through thus far to get to where we are now 2 years later. So I got a whole bunch of different types of battery packs and did a bunch of different tests. I knew that it wanted to be portable. However, the question was, how do you actually heat a mouthpiece in the middle of a marching band field, something that can strap to your mouthpiece and not be super cumbersome? So this is the very first prototype of the HotLips heater. As you can see, I attached the rubber silicone heater to the battery pack. In fact, I just hot glued it here, and I soldered the wire leads into the battery pack so that it would be powered by 2 AA batteries. And there's a simple on and off switch. It's a very simple design. However, it was a proof of concept that it was going to work. Nevertheless, it's really ugly, and it's not exactly what I wanted. With some of the limitations of the very first prototype, I decided to try a different sized heating element. As you can see here, this heater is much larger, it's wider, and the purpose was so that you could actually wrap the mouthpiece. While this did work, it increased the surface area that was actually being heated. There were certain limitations with this model. The hot glue seemed to always fail. It was pulling off as you were unwinding the heater from away from the mouthpiece. That's when I developed the prototype 2.5. It's the exact same battery pack and the exact same heater. However, I was now adding a sticky back hook and loop strap to the battery pack. It's a lot more durable. However, this particular model showed that whenever it was being used on an actual trumpet, this battery pack would be strapped right in front of your face at the mouthpiece. So it's really obvious to see. Also, between the first and second prototype, I was finding that they were not lasting any longer than about 40 minutes. So that's when I began developing the third prototype. I wanted to pretty much completely rehaul everything that I had done. I knew that it would work, and I knew that I was dealing with the right materials. It was just arranging them in a way that would meet all of my goals, which is when I developed this prototype and this prototype at the exact same time. They're both powered by AAA batteries, and I wanted it to be reusable and rechargeable. So I began working with rechargeable batteries so that it would cost a lot less for the consumer. So the first model here, I have a new heating element that is preformed into a circle so that it actually just goes right around your mouthpiece so you put it into the shank and then you just push it up. This way it has the best contact and it forms to the mouthpiece. Also, I added Velcro to the back of the heater so that when attached to the mouthpiece, you don't have a bright orange heater strapped to it. You now have a nice subdued black. The second version is a 4 AAA battery pack, and it uses rechargeable batteries and similarly uses the preformed circular heater. Both of these models increased in how long they worked because the batteries had a larger capacity. However, they both posed problems of where to actually place the battery packs. Both of these models worked for about an hour and a half, which was still getting better but not long enough. And it just seemed antiquated with having to actually put batteries into a battery pack and take them out and recharge them. So I really wanted to move HotLips into the next century. Now that I had a heater that I knew that I liked the design and I knew it would work, I had to work on the battery pack. So looking online, I was trying to find different types of battery packs that would work better for me. And I found this battery pack, which actually uses 4 AA batteries and powers a USB device. So I taped a USB cord that I had laying around and attached it to my actual heater to create a USB powered heater. And I also used a Velcro strap around the trumpet valve casings to hold the battery case because it has a clip. Now this really worked. The battery lasted about 2.5 hours, which was getting closer to the range that I wanted it to last. So I was really close to releasing the previous prototype. It worked well, it was functional, it was rechargeable and USB powered, but it just didn't look like something that you could go to a store and purchase. It looked a little antiquated, and it just didn't have the right feel to it. So I decided to completely rehaul every aspect of the trumpet heater. And the very first thing that I did was I made the heater, instead of 2 wire leads, it came in a single wire. It's still USB powered, and it still forms to the trumpet mouthpiece. The Velcro strap that goes around the valve casings is now longer so that it can work on different models of trumpet. And the biggest change is the battery pack. It's now a rechargeable lithium battery pack, something that you could use to recharge your phone. It has the USB output and it has a micro USB input. So just like an Android phone or anything that uses that sort of adapter can also be used to charge that device. It's a lot thinner than the previous battery pack, and it even lasted longer, so it fixed a lot of the problems. This version now lasts over 4 hours, so it can get you through an entire football game. You get to the game, you turn it on, and you just leave it on, so it passively heats your mouthpiece the entire game. Included is an extra little strap so that you can make sure that any extra wire left over is held out of the way on a lead pipe. And obviously it comes with instructions. So currently this is the trumpet version. There are not any other brass family versions available right now. I will be keeping you posted as different versions become available. You can find them on the website or on Facebook, on our Facebook page. And I really enjoyed showing you this product, and I hope that you will find it interesting.